I think the whole world has to get used to this. We are going to watch sausage being made.
Right.
And the outcome of this, hopefully, is free trade.
Wow. Well, I mean, we had free trade 7 days ago, didn't we?
It burst explosively. Kevin O'Leary, a multi-millionaire businessman and Dragon's Den celebrity, battled Victoria Derbyshire of BBC. The argument is this: the erratic tariff talks of President Trump and their effects on world markets.
So again, it's focusing on the signal. What is going on here is a massive negotiation for world trade. And no, there has not been free trade. Countries have been very specific, including the UK, on really accelerated tariffs on certain commodities. They're going to have to come off. It's going to be much more competitive in all products and services by the time this is over. Well, same for Canada, same for Mexico, same for Germany. But listen, it's never, this is how it's going to be. So I would say to everybody, and look, I don't shill for politicians. I shill for policy because I have to make investments.
Absolutely.
I have to make economic decisions.
Absolutely.
Derbyshire instantly criticised O'Leary, implying that erratic policies of Trump were detrimental.
You are a very successful businessman. You will know the uncertainty is terrible for business. How is the US a stable place to invest when President Trump is doing this with tariffs, you know, every 24 hours?
Because what's the end goal? If the end goal is to open up markets so that I can go and do and sell my goods and services from a company in Florida into the UK without any tariffs, I'm interested. And by the way, these volatile markets, everybody that's been an investor, including me, has seen this movie before. Okay, so we had a 20% correction. I've seen it. I've seen the movie multiple times. We went from a 22 PE to 17.
Yeah.
O'Leary boldly said that Trump's planned trade negotiations include volatility as a deliberate feature.
I think the whole world has to get used to this. We are going to watch sausage being made.
Right.
And the outcome of this, hopefully, is free trade.
Wow. Well, I mean, we had free trade 7 days ago, didn't we? You say it's going to be volatile. It's like sausage being made. On the 4th of April on Truth Social, Donald Trump said to the many investors coming into the US and investing massive amounts of money, my policies will never change. On Monday night, he literally said to the world, there will be no pause in these tariffs. He said this afternoon as the US government bonds were being dumped, be cool. And he's had to pull back.
So again, it's focusing on the signal. What is going on here is a massive negotiation for world trade. And no, there has not been free trade. Countries have been very specific, including the UK, on really accelerated tariffs on certain commodities. They're going to have to come off. It's going to be much more competitive in all products and services by the time this is over. Well, same for Canada, same for Mexico, same for Germany. But listen, it's never, this is how it's going to be.
Derbyshire insisted, stressing uncertainty.
But do you accept that the uncertainty stops people investing? It pauses everyone's decision-making because they're wondering what President Trump is going to do tomorrow.
Or it's a buying opportunity of a lifetime. Or it's free trade in a much better way in 6 months. You just don't know. But if you can't deal with the volatility and you're frozen, you're missing a huge opportunity. I look at this and say to myself, wait a minute. If I can actually sell goods and services in the UK with zero tariffs, I'm really interested in investing in the UK. The same with Germany, which I would have never done before. Okay. The same in France.
O'Leary persisted, offering the larger picture, a long-term prospect produced of temporary turmoil.
If I can actually sell goods and services in the UK with zero tariffs, I'm really interested in investing in the UK. The same with Germany, which I would have never done before. Okay. The same in France. I mean, I think, look, I can understand how you can call this, inconsistent, and you would be right. Well, that is how sausage is being made, and that's how it's being negotiated with this administration. I think the world is figuring that out, and that's why you saw a 3,000-point move in the Dow. In the markets here in the U.S. just in the last few hours. I'm getting used to it. Many other people are too. But this is not over by any means. And
O'Leary firmly expanded his case when the topic shifted to China.
You haven't talked about what really matters, the China negotiations, because it's not about tariffs. It's about leveling the playing field on all kinds of issues that have not been dealt with for 20 years in the World Trade Organization with China. Now they're being dealt with. IP, access to markets, litigation rights, shutting down Chinese companies that are listed illegally on American exchanges.
I hear you. And you will know that they have said they're not going to back down either. So how does that impact on the global economy when the two largest economies in the world are at loggerheads?
They're going to find a way to work it out because it's mutual destruction. Everybody knows that. And so this is the beginning of a narrative. How it gets worked out and when, exactly which hour, I don't know. They're going to keep ratcheting up tariffs against each other. But if you're Xi, let's take each side, you can't afford massive unemployment in China. What gives you your mandate is the ability to keep your people employed. Wiping out access to the world's largest market and largest capital markets is not how you keep Chinese people employed. As far as American companies and the American economy, we all want access to the Chinese market, the fastest growing in some ways, or at least the closest second market on earth, but we want it on a level playing field. Both sides have a reason to figure this out. You may not like watching the sausage being made in the case of China.
O'Leary clarified the need of the erratic procedure.
It's a far more different narrative than that's going on with the other 59 countries.
Okay.
And to try and negotiate all this at the same time is unheard of, but that's what's happening. I'm extremely optimistic that this time, the first time since China entered the WTO in 2000, we're going to finally have them comply with the rules because it's in their best interest.
Okay, we'll see.
Just watch this sausage.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Kevin O'Leary argued in a commanding manner that the global trade upheaval was uncomfortable, but necessary and finally helpful.
Thank you for being with us. I want to play you, first of all, if I may, a clip of the senior correspondent of Fox Business. You may know him. He's called Charlie Gasparino. Have a listen.
You know, who capitulated here and why? And, you know, I don't want to say this because I'm a patriot. I'm an American. But it is the White House who capitulated based on everything I hear and all my sources. And the reason why is because of the bond market and what happened last night.
Is he right, Mr. O'Leary?
It's part of the puzzle. You know, the way to look at this whole thing, and I've said this countless times during this volatile period, we're not even 100 days into Trump's second mandate. With Trump, and in case, you know, everybody's known him now for 12 years, you have to differentiate between the noise and the signal. Now, this chaotic 5-day period of market volatility is because of two reasons. One is this is negotiating in a unique way, 60 countries at once. It's never been done before. And one exclusion, let's call it China. It's different than the other 59 because China is a different kind of negotiation. As you saw, we're ramping up tariffs on China while we're trying to negotiate, at least Trump is, some kind of reduction in overall tariffs and then a reduction in trade deficits. But he's doing it live and open and transparently. So it's like watching sausage being made, and it's very uncomfortable for financial markets. What Gasparino was talking about is 50 basis points of volatility in some of the durations on treasuries. That may or may not have been because Japan was selling. That's the speculation. You don't know. But overall, it's the equity markets that are showing the most volatility, 2,000–3,000 point swings. Well, I think the whole world has to get used to this. We are going to watch sausage being made.
Right.
And the outcome of this, hopefully, is free trade.
Derbyshire expressed legitimate worries, but O'Leary's audacious forecast was clear. A new era of actual free trade will start through instability.